Finally, President Donald J. Trump talked about new stimulus rebate checks for millions and millions of Americans.
And there could be a distribution or dividend to the people of our country. I would say for people that would be middle income people and lower income people.
Americans were waiting for this. It seems like it's finally happening. Look at this. Our $600 tariff rebate checks coming, and here's what you need to know. Remember, under this new very important stimulus bill that Josh Hawley introduced, with the approval of President Donald J. Trump, a family could get up to $2,400. Well, this is not it. As I mentioned earlier, look at this. Senate introduces bill for tariff rebate checks after Trump's suggestion, but there's a shocker right here. And Josh Hawley said something very shocking which literally stunned everyone. Look at this. Senator Josh Hawley wants to exclude Biden voters from $600 Trump tariff rebate checks. So now in this video, I'm going to tell you what are the eligibility criteria when it comes to this very important stimulus tariff rebate check, when you can expect these checks, and what is the status of this check right now. I'm going to give you each and every detail, but all I need is just a little favor. It takes 2 seconds to please smash the like button on this video. So without any further ado, let's start the video. So let's start the video with the details of this new $600 stimulus tariff rebate check for millions and millions of Americans that includes adults and children as well. Look at this. In response to this, Senator Josh Hawley has introduced a bill that would issue these tariff rebate checks to Americans, and this is a milestone achieved for millions of Americans. Remember, President Donald J. Trump announced the possibility of these checks, and after a few days of that announcement, Josh Hawley introduced this massive bill that could give a family of 4 of up to $2,400 a big relief. But first, let's watch what President Donald J. Trump said recently about these new stimulus rebate checks for millions and millions of Americans.
Well, we're going to pay down debt. We have a lot of money coming in, much more money than the country's ever seen, by hundreds of billions of dollars. And there could be a distribution or dividend to the people of our country. I would say for people that would be middle income people and lower income people, we could do a dividend. But one of the things we're going to be doing is reducing debt. But we have hundreds of billions of dollars pouring into our country now. We should have done this many years ago.
So President Donald J. Trump said that we are receiving billions and billions of dollars from these reciprocal tariffs that he placed on almost every single country, and now because of those reciprocal tariffs, US is receiving billions and billions of dollars. On top of it, President Donald J. Trump also mentioned that he's receiving trillions of dollars investment in United States from big giant companies. But you need to understand that if this money is coming, then it would be really easy for this administration to give some sort of stimulus rebate or stimulus tariff check to millions of Americans. It seems like it's happening, as after the Trump suggestion, Josh Hawley did this, as Senate introduced his bill for tariff rebate checks after Trump's suggestion. And you need to understand that there are some very important points about this bill that you need to know, because these checks are indeed lifeline for millions and millions of Americans. Senator Josh Hawley on Monday introduced a bill to send tariff rebate checks to American families similar to the stimulus checks sent during the pandemic. This is from CNBC. But this is the biggest part right here. If enacted, the measure would provide a minimum of $600 per adult and dependent child, or $2,400 for a family of 4. So what it means, each adult will get $600 and each child will also get $600, but there's a cap in it. So if you are a family of 4, you are going to receive $2,400. But let's say that if you are a family of 5, then you might not receive the money for the 5th person because there's a cap in the family. So you need to understand that $2,400 the maximum amount under this bill that American households will qualify for. But now the biggest question that a number of people are asking, that when these checks are coming, and this is very important and you need to understand this. First, before I go into these details, I would like to tell you about the eligibility criteria of these checks. Well, under this bill, if you are an individual and you make $75,000 and less, then you are going to get this full $600 worth of stimulus check. But if you make over $75,000 a year, then there will be a 5% deduction in your check. Now, let's move towards couples. If you are a couple and you are making $150,000 and less, then you are going to receive $1,200 under this bill. But if you are making over $150,000, then there will be a 5% deduction in your check. So you need to keep this in mind, as this is very important. Now, let's move towards when these checks are coming, or when you can expect these checks. Well, right now there are 3 hurdles that this bill needs to pass. The first one is the debate, the second one is voting, and the third one is the president's signature. So after Josh Hawley introduced this bill, there will be a debate in Congress, in House and in Senate. A committee will be scheduled to debate on this bill, and after the debate, if they kind of agree with it, then they'll be voting on it. And if it passes the voting, means if it gets more votes in favor than nay, then this bill will move to President Donald J. Trump and he will sign it. Because remember that President Donald J. Trump is the one who announced the possibility of these checks, and after that announcement, Josh Hawley introduced this very important bill for Americans. Now, the biggest question is that what Americans are saying about these $600 checks. Well, there are some mixed reactions. The first one, that yes, this is great, $600, at least we are getting something from President Donald J. Trump. Now, the second reaction that is really important, that a number of analysts, experts, including millions of Americans, are saying that this check should be higher. It should be at least $2,000, as millions of Americans received during the pandemic. Now, right here, I would like to ask you this very important question. Do you support this $600 stimulus rebate checks for middle and low income Americans, or you support an increase, means $2,000 worth of stimulus check? And would it make any difference in your life or not? Please let me know in the comments below. What do you think about it, and what is your opinion about it? Because always remember, your opinion matters the most. Now, one more detail I would like to give you before I wrap up this video. The proposal come after President Donald J. Trump on Friday told reporters he was thinking about little rebate for Americans from tariff revenue. And this is important because a number of Americans are saying, we hope that President Donald J. Trump gives us this new stimulus, because the Doge stimulus was a hoax, was a political stunt. Nothing happened when it comes to this $5,000 stimulus Doge checks. But now we hope that these checks will come to Americans. Let me know in the comments below, what do you think, that President Donald J. Trump is really going to give this check to Americans, or it's just a political stunt? I'll see you in the next video very soon. Till then, please take care and have a nice day.